In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the RadTabWorkspace provided with the Telerik CAB Enabling Kit, which is available at telericcab.codeplex.com. I will be using the initial project code and hello module that I created in the Rad Dockable Workspace video. So, if you haven't seen that video yet, I recommend watching it first and then returning to this video. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do with this project is actually update the workspace names to fit more in line with what I'm actually trying to create here, which is a single workspace application. And to do that, you're going to need to open up the infrastructure folder and come to the infrastructure.interface project. And inside of the constants folder, there's actually a workspace names.cs file. So if you open that up and scroll down, you'll see that there is a constant for left workspace and a constant for right workspace. Well, we're not going to be using the left workspace in this application, so you can go ahead and comment out that code. And for the right workspace, I'm actually going to rename that to main workspace, and I'm refactoring it so that it goes throughout the application because it's already assigned to the current deck workspace. So, and I will go ahead and copy the variable name into the string. Alright. The next step that you'll need to take is to open up infrastructure.layout, and inside of here there is a shell layout view. So double click that to open it in the designer, and inside of here you'll see that it's actually using right workspace and it's using left workspace. And both of these workspaces it's currently using are deck workspaces. And so what we're going to do here is actually replace these two workspaces with the RadTabWorkspace. To do that, let's go ahead and delete both of these deck workspaces, and we'll delete this splitter panel as well. And then from the toolbox, if you scroll up to the top, you should have a section for the Telerik CAB WinForms components, and you'll see in here that there is a RadTabWorkspace control. So if you drag that out into the designer, and then let's dock it, and then let's give it a good name. So we'll just call it main tab workspace. So now what you'll do is right click on the designer and select view code, and you should see in the constructor that it's actually assigning the workspace name constants to what used to be the two deck workspaces. So since we're no longer using left workspace, let's go ahead and comment that one out. And now we will actually change the right workspace assignment to be the main tab workspace that we created. And then click save, and then we can close out of that. And if we click run, we'll see that the RadTab workspace is actually integrated into our application now, and it's ready to be populated with views. So let's add a few views to the workspace now. So if we come over here to the projects window, you'll see that I have a hello module project that I'm using from the last video that I created. If we come in here and take a look at the views folder, you'll see that I've already pre-created 3 different views: the goodbye view, the hello view, and the picture view. And these views just contain labels, and the last one contains a picture. So what we're going to do is go ahead and open up the goodbye view, and we're going to need to add a RadTab smart part info to this. And what a smart part info is an object that CAB uses to describe how to create the container in which a view is going to be placed for the workspace to show it. So let's take a look at the RadTab smart part info. We'll go ahead and drag one of these out of the toolbox onto our form, and let's look at the properties for this. So as you can see, it contains general properties you might find on a regular RadTab strip. So background color, description, image. Right down here is the title. This is actually what gets shown in the tab. So let's go ahead and set these values. So this first one we'll call goodbye view, and we'll need to set it to visible so that it shows. And also up here you'll see there's an enabled setting, so we'll need to set that to true as well. And this one last property, activate tab, if we set that to true, that means this tab gets activated when it's added to the workspace. So if we want, say, the goodbye view to be the control that we see once we start up our application and add all of our views to the RadTab workspace, then we'll set activate tab to true on this one and set activate tab on all of our other views to false. So let's go ahead and save that. Now if we view the code behind for this, you'll see that we have an iSmartPartInfoProvider interface implemented on this view. And what this does is it basically returns the smart part info to the view so that it can generate it using the description provided in the smart part info. Now let's go ahead and add smart part infos to the rest of our views. So we'll come over here to the view folder, and for hello view, let's go to the toolbox as we did before, drag out a RadTab smart part info, come down to the properties window, and let's call this one hello view. And for this one, we'll also need to set visible to true, we'll set enabled to true, and let's go ahead and set activate tab to false, because this isn't the one we want to see. We want to see goodbye view when we start up the application. So we'll close that out, and let's do picture view next. So same thing as before, come to the toolbox, drag a RadTab smart part info out, and for this one we'll call it picture view. Set visible to true, enabled to true, and we'll set activate tab to false. So let's save this and close out of that. And now we'll want to actually add these to the workspace, and to do that you'll come to the module controller.cs, which is the main work item controller for this module. So if we take a quick look at this, you'll see that it has a central run method, which is what's called when this module is added to the application, and it calls various methods that add the UI extension sites and then add the views. So let's go down to the add views method, and we'll add our views here. And I have a quick code snippet that I'm going to paste in here. And let's take a look at the first line of code here. As you can see, it's calling the show view and workspace method using a hello view as the type. And what it does here is it actually generates the hello view for us internally, and I'm specifying a name hello view so that if I want to access this in the views collection on this work item later, I can use that string name. And I'm also passing the constant for the main workspace in as the workspace I want this view to be shown in. And that's pretty much it for showing these views in the RadTab workspace. So if we click save and run the application, you'll see that now our goodbye view is the one that's shown to us first, since activate tab was set to true on it. And if we take a look at these, we can see that all three of our views have been added to the RadTab workspace. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you have more questions, I recommend that you visit the Telerik CAB Codeplex website, which is telericcab.codeplex.com. Or if you're interested in checking out more tutorials, I recommend checking out my blog at blogs.telerik.com/RobertShoemate.